Hello everyone and welcome to Divine Debut. Thank you for being here. These are your readings from May the 1st until May the 15th of 2020. I will be doing a Celtic cross, but I will be starting this reading with some planetary news. Just looking quickly at the stars. If you want to stick around, you may do so. As with the reading today, I will be taking the Connolly tarot for the main spread. I will be taking a couple of cards from the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels. At the end of the reading, you'll be able to ask your question and get an angel answer. I will be using the Vera Sibilla, which I use many times, usually on the longer readings. I will be clarifying the reading with the small Rider-Waite. And I will also be taking a couple of personalized messages from the characters that are showing up in the reading. So do stay until the end of the reading. I will have in the description box below the timestamp, so when the tarot starts, for those of you that are not interested in the astrology. Also, I'd like to mention that I do take a guidance card every day on social media. My links are in the description box below, and I also do a reading, the daily divine spread for all of you, and I keep you guided daily as what is going on the collective scale, but as well as on a personal. I do read the cards as they speak to me, how I feel they should be read, so I do hope that you are enjoying these daily readings. Okay, I think I will leave it at that. Let's start off with the astrology a little bit for May, as I always do more astrology at the beginning of the month than in the mid-month readings. I'm also uploading, I forgot to say, love readings. Okay, and the love readings usually go from mid-month to mid-month of the next month. So I've done April until mid-May now. You can watch those. They're up on my channel. I think that's all I've got to say. Let's quickly look at May and the astrology. What is important to say is that Venus moving through the sign of Gemini, she's actually going to be turning retrograde on the 12th or 13th of May, depending on where you are in the world. Venus will be retrograding until roughly the end of June. She'll be coming out of shadow in July, so she will be in that sign, the sign of Gemini, for quite a while. She will be squaring over to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. It will be, most of her transit, her retrograde motion will be squaring Neptune, and this is Venus trying to make sense. Okay, where there is no sense, where there is confusion, Neptune. She's also going to be showing us what is valuable, what we love, what is the truth, because Gemini is all about the truth. It's all about communicating. In relation to what is important to us, what we want to manifest. Now we know that Venus moving through the sign of Gemini, right across is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, which is right across, it's in opposition to Gemini. Sagittarius is all about the truth. So Venus is now trying to communicate and work through any problems. We know that with retrograde motion, it's a time to redirect the energy, go inwards, as we know that the planet is more closer to the earth, and therefore its energy is more amplified. And interesting to know that Jupiter, the day after, will be retrograding. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is right across. So that'll be interesting. Now, what else we've got in the month of May is that we're having a super full moon in the sign of Scorpio. We know that Scorpio is already very deep and transformative. So things that have been hidden, which is Scorpio, secrets, fears that have been hidden, that haven't been shown to us, will be, as a full moon is a culmination. There's a lot of light. It's the reflection of the moon and the sun. So we get to see what endings are around the archetype of Scorpio. Okay, so that's going to be happening on the 7th of May. Okay, 7th of May, and that'll be very interesting, as we know it's going to be very transformative, whatever we're going to be shown. Now, that's the new moon. We had a new moon in Taurus at the end of April, and now we're going to see the full moon culmination in the sign of Scorpio. And we know that Scorpio and Taurus are right across from each other. Whenever there is a new moon in one sign, the opposite sign has the full moon. So, a new moon in Taurus, as we're still in Taurus season. Happy birthday to those of you that are Tauruses. We always have that new moon in our birthday. So obviously the moon is brand new in the sign of Taurus. Now we're going to see the culmination in the sign opposite, which is Scorpio. And, well, it's going to be very interesting to see. Now we're going to have in the month of May, on the 22nd of May, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Gemini, as we will, towards the end of May, we move into the time of Gemini. So I'm going to wish those of you that are Gemini happy birthday for the later part of May. You will be having your new moon. So a new moon in the sign of Gemini on the 22nd of May. Now, on May 11th, Mercury will be entering Gemini, as Mercury is still now in the sign of Taurus. Okay, so today is the 30th of April, and Mercury is still transiting through the sign of Taurus. As I said, on the 11th, moves into Gemini. We know that Mercury rules Gemini, and therefore this will be strong communication. We know Mercury is about business, collaboration, anything to do with the internet, okay, anything electronic, anything that speaks to mobility, and anything surrounding communication. And at the end of May, Mercury on the 28th will be moving into the sign of Cancer. Now, so Venus will be transiting through the sign of Gemini the whole of the month. Mars will be entering Pisces, as Mars is still transiting through the air sign of Aquarius. Mars is fire, air is what is Aquarius, so fire and air, there's quick movement with Mars through the sign of Aquarius. On May 13th, Mars will be moving into Pisces. That nebulous area of Pisces will be slowing Mars down. Mars is practically, that's how I feel, Mars slows down in Pisces, as there is a lot of nebulous, yes, lack of clarity, but it's also, Pisces is a water sign. So water trumps fire, it puts it out, so it slows it down. Okay, Jupiter, as I said, will be retrograding, yes, in the sign of Capricorn still. Saturn on May 11th will start retrograding back. Saturn in Aquarius, it's roughly just past the 1 degree. It will be moving back towards the area of Capricorn. Saturn rules both Capricorn and Aquarius, so it's comfortable in both places, but Saturn in Aquarius is more lighter. It's not as heavy as what in Capricorn. Now it's moving back towards Capricorn again. It's going to finish anything that it left behind. And we know that Saturn is much more heavier in Capricorn, but it will be moving backwards to, re-look at something before it starts to move direct again. So they're the most important things to mention. I just wanted to mention also that full moon in the sign of Scorpio will be around the 17-degree mark on May 7th. So for those of you that are familiar with your charts, you can see what is happening around that 17th degree mark. If you've got something around the 17th degree of any fixed signs, because Scorpio is fixed. So the fixed signs are Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. Okay, so anything that is any planets or points that you've got around those degrees, it means that you will be affected very strongly by this full moon. Also, I'm going to mention the most important thing I nearly forgot is that around the 5th of May, the nodes, North Node, South Nodes of the moon will be changing. North Node in the sign of Cancer will be moving into Gemini, and the South Node in the sign of Capricorn will be moving into Sag. We know that the nodes move in the opposite way to what the planets do. So we're leaving the areas Cancer, home, Capricorn, work, career, and we're moving into North Node in Gemini, which I've already mentioned what Gemini is all about, and Sagittarius is all about freedom, going on that adventure. That's where the South Node will be, leaving old structures, old beliefs in the past. We know that the South Node is something that's very familiar to us, and it's very, very karmic. So leaving things to do with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is also foreigners. It's also higher education. It's the house of philosophy, and we know that Gemini is all about learning in a group environment, what is close to our foundation, our neighborhood, any teachings and anything to do with, again, communication. Fresh energies, Gemini, whereas Sagittarius is more the philosophy. It's the wisdom, the wise. So North Node will be moving into Gemini, South Node will be in Sagittarius. Okay, and I will more than likely put in something. I'm going to do another video more than likely on the nodes as soon as I have these videos up. So I want to leave the astrology where it is at the moment. Thank you so much for listening. Let's now go on to your tarot reading, everyone. Hello, dear Capricorn. Welcome to Divine Debut. Thank you so much for being here. This is your general and love reading for the 1st until the 15th of May of 2020. Let's do a Celtic cross for you and see what's going on for you. Thank you for your patience. I do hope that you're all well and happy and healthy. These lockdown measures are slowly being released. We are moving into our new life. Capricorn, what's showing up for you? And I'm going to say that it's been a very important 18 months with the nodes in the signs of Cancer and Capricorn. This will be shifting in about 3 days, so the focus is shifting. Let's see what's going on here. In the now position, we've got the Tower. Wow, a major shift, a very important epiphany. Okay, something sudden coming in for you. And the Tower usually brings a shift that was needed, a change that was necessary. Something that was not built solidly. What's the challenge? And we've got the Hierophant. Wow. Taurus. The Hierophant could be a commitment, a marriage. It could be that the restrictions are falling away, the restrictions that you've been dealing with. We know the Hierophant is change, as this is a number 5. And this could be also through those hardships that you've been through, dear Capricorn. Some of you may have connected spiritually, and that is a spiritual awakening for you. Others of you are seeing the truth. If you are dealing with a Taurian person, We know that the Tower can be also Scorpio, Taurus, Scorpio. They're on the same axis. You could be dealing with either of those signs. Doesn't have to be. Let's see what's at the foundation. We have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, you've been dealing with a lot. You felt the sense of not being able to free yourself. And I love the Tower here, as this is also Uranus. Uranus in the sign of Taurus, bringing in that change, that freedom from the imprisonment here. Your foundation, there was something that was holding you back, even though this may have been a perception as well. This could also have been something about the truth, something being shown to you, maybe even from your connection to spirit. What's in the recent past? We have the World card. And the World is the ending of a karmic cycle, a major end in your life. You've learned the lessons. It's time to start something new. What's in your trajectory? What's on your mind? What did you want to manifest? What are you working towards? And we have the Four of Pentacles. So this could be anything to do with your security, your money. Some of you have been hoping for the truth. For the truth, as I feel as though the truth more than likely would be something that would give you that sense of freedom. And the Four of Pentacles is usually my Taurus card. So I do feel strongly that you are working with these energies, dear Capricorn. Now, whatever is going on in your sign, Taurus is whatever's happening in Taurus, and we are in the season of Taurus. Whatever is being shown to you, as Mercury just recently moved over Uranus, that's the clarity, that's the epiphany here. And I think that that's what you're working towards. If someone has been very closed up and not communicating with you, then this could be their truth. They could be releasing their truth. But also some of you feel as though you're halfway there and that things are still up in the air. You may have half the information, you're waiting on the rest of it to know what you're going to do, as this is a 4, and 4s always speak about our stability. Now that could, of course, relate to money, anything around home, your security as well, your commitments, your obligations. What's in the near future? And we've got the Strength card. This is saying to me that, and it is Leo, this is saying that you have to trust in your strength, in your power, the power to have the courage to move forward, to believe in your higher self and what you can accomplish. Okay, this is a card of course, patience. We've got Taurus, which is also a card of patience. It looks as though the energies are there's quick and there's slow. We know Taurus is very slow moving, but he's in the challenge position. So someone is wanting to speed things up. Now, Capricorn, you're Earth as well. So could it be that someone is waiting on you? Now, the Strength card speaks of that power within us to be able to tame this wild beast. Leo is all about fun, it's creativity, it's children. We do have the Family card here. The Hierophant is in relation to commitments and any marriages. There are 2 keys here in the Hierophant as well. So I think that Capricorn is making the choice here on what they're going to do, whether they have the power to manifest their dreams or not. What's in the position of you? We've got the Queen of Pentacles, and this is you. Queen of Pentacles, someone very stable. She is the hearth of the home. She is someone that's very dependable. A lot of people depend on her. She is the center of people's world. She is the mother. She holds that hearth. and she keeps that fire burning. She's someone who a lot of people look up to. The Queen of Pentacles is very good with her money. She's very stable. Now, I feel as though you, dear Capricorn, you may have been dealing with someone that was not stable. I feel as though you want something much more committed, but you may have been dealing with someone that was not ready for commitment. Let's see what's surrounding you. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is the card of Sagittarius. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is saying that change is coming. If you've been down in the dumps and it's been hard for you, for most of you, I'm saying that the change is coming in. You've kept the faith. Some of you may be at the point where you're starting to lose faith, but we know that also Sagittarius is about freedom. Some of you could be dealing with a strong Sagittarian person. You may also be on different levels where spirituality is concerned, or even your beliefs. Maybe even your conditioning from your home life. What's in your hopes and fears? And we've got the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is very spiritual. She does hold a lot of secrets. We do have the spiritual leaders. Two people that more than likely are very connected spiritually. But here the Hierophant is in the Challenge. So this is someone, I feel as though this tower, which does speak of, to me, it's something much more progressive. There is change here, and this could also mean in your values, in your earned income as the house of Taurus. That's where Uranus is transiting. Let's see what the outcome is. And we have the Fool. This is a brand new journey. Some of you are letting go of the past, something that you needed to shift in your life. This is the divine bringing you this change, as we know that earth signs can get quite stuck. They do plan long term, and because they plan for the long term, getting out of something suddenly is not, they're not able to do it. So therefore the Tower is here. This is the divine. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck, and we've got the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords could be an argument, could be a fight. Okay, I know that Capricorn people, a lot of you have been dealing with Aquarian energy. Okay, this could be the time when you're finally closing the door on that. This is quick communication and quickly severing ties through difficulty though. Look at the clouds. There is so much darkness there. What's after that? We have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands can mean something has been communicated. Look at those birds bringing in that second wand. Some of you may be connected to a Sagittarian who is at a distance. You're opening a new door. The Chariot is Cancer. This is your 7th house of partnership and others. Some of you have been planning a house move, moving from a commitment to something new. Let's take the Romance Angels and see what's going on in your love life. Leo is also very strong here. We've got all the fixed signs here. And the World card is those 4 fixed signs. So it hasn't been easy for you, Capricorn. I think you're coming to the end of your hardship. Let's take your love life and see. So May, beginning to mid-May, please, Spirit, for Capricorn. We have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life. Well, this card has been showing up for a few signs. With this lockdown, it's not surprising at all. Let's see what else Capricorn is dealing with. And we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So express your love. This could also be speaking to the person you're dealing with. We do have the 4 of Pentacles here. Someone is juggling on whether they should express their love, open up their emotions and speak their truth. Someone has been quite stingy, and I'm going to say if they've been holding back financially, then they've been stingy with their emotions as well. The advice here is express your love. Go ahead. What else do we have? And we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. For those of you that are leaving the past in the past and you are moving on to a new relationship, taking that pain with you is not going to behoove you. It's not going to serve you. We do have the Fool here, which the Fool travels very lightly. So leave the past in the past, forgive and just let it go. What's at the bottom here? We've got release your ex. There you go. The time has come to clear your energy. So some of you may have been dealing with someone who was over the top, a bit of a player. As we know that the Tower, as I say, Uranus in Taurus, is all about someone that needs their freedom. Now, the signs that like their freedom are Aquarius and Sagittarius, especially. Here we've got Aries as well. I suppose that's something that we have to take into account as well. Let's take another layer and see what's going on. Now, because Uranus is in Taurus, some of you could be dealing with a Taurian. The Eight of Pentacles opened up here, so this is something that you've been putting a lot of effort into. Could be someone around your work, someone that you've been working with that is trying to break free from a situation. Maybe you're not on the same page where values are concerned. This could even be a work connection. Now, the Eight of Pentacles says that a lot of you may, after this Tower, you are working really hard to release yourself, to make sure financially that you're okay, as we've got the Four of Pentacles here as well. So that's, of course, financial issues, yes? Let's look at that Hierophant, and we've got the Judgment card, which is Scorpio, Pluto. Okay, this is a card of making a judgment against someone or receiving that from someone. So it can go either way. This is a very, very karmic card. The Judgment card usually shows, it does show many times that eclipse. We're slowly moving into eclipse times. And I think that you will be revisiting this point, whatever's going on now, as the nodes are changing direction. They're going to, one of the eclipses very soon are going to touch on the same degrees of where the nodes are. So at the beginning of May, what's going on for you? You're going to be revisiting that soon, where you may have that second chance. That's how I see the Judgment card. I do see it as help coming in. Let's see what this Eight of Swords is in your foundation. And we have the King of Pentacles. So Taurus, we've got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, everyone. Now the King of Pentacles is here at the foundation, which means this is someone more than likely that you were committed to. Doesn't have to be a Taurus. Maybe it was someone that you could depend on, but maybe this was someone that was holding you prisoner. Maybe even someone that was putting fears into your head, making you think that you're prisoner and you cannot stand alone. Let's have a look at that World card. And we have the Queen of Wands. Some of you, yes, may have strong Leo in your chart. Queen of Wands, she's someone who is very driven, someone that's creating someone, and someone who is striving passionately to end a cycle. Let's look at that Four of Pentacles in your crowning position. And we've got the Ace of Swords. So this is severing ties with whoever was holding back from you, whoever was trying to keep you feeling as though you're the enemy, you're the one that's not doing the right thing, someone that was playing with your head, with your mind. Some of you are severing ties with them. This is also a successful new beginning. For others of you that are moving on to new love, if someone has been holding back on their emotions, this could be the communication and the truth. Let's look at the Strength card. And we have the Two of Cups here. So a lot of you are trusting that you can manage a situation, you can manage to be able to work together, as we know that the female here and the lion, of course, the beast, let's say, and the lion, of course, we know is the king of the jungle. So the lion is very royal. So therefore, you know, what sort of power is necessary? This is you digging deep and trusting that this can work out, that you can, you know, take this further, dear Capricorn. With that Two of Cups, some of you have been trying to hold yourselves back. If you are dealing with someone that is at a distance, we've got the Nine of Swords. I'm going to put it back. Nine of Swords is what you've been going through. A lot of stress, anxiety, and in relation to a partnership, relationship, romantic, family. Let's take that Queen of Pentacles. Three of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups. So whatever you are striving to accomplish and whatever you're trusting in that you can manifest, there will be a celebration. You are very stable. Now, the Three of Cups can also speak of three people in a situation. It does say release your ex, but I do feel as though once the door is open, the lockdown has stopped, because the Wheel of Fortune is Sagittarian. You could be dealing with someone that's at a distance from, you know, another part of the world. We've got the World card here as well. And you're desiring to travel. Let's have a look at the Wheel of Fortune. There's that Nine of Swords still. A lot of anxiety here. Sleepless nights. Let's take another card. So we've got the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. And we know that the wheel, which is Jupiter, can also speak of legalities. Some of you are still at court trying to release the past. Let's take another one. And you are juggling your finances. Some of you are really working two jobs, maybe even trying to make ends meet. Okay. But this is something that you feel very strong about. This is your truth. This is, again, Jupiter. Jupiter does speak of truth. Let's have a look at that High Priestess. Were there secrets withheld? Are you fearing that there have been secrets withheld? Are you fearing that if you are trying to keep a new relationship undercover, are you fearing that your ex has that knowing, that they may realize that you've already moved on if you have not finished legally? And whatever it is, I feel as though something, you're worried about something coming to light with that High Priestess. Let's take the card. And we've got the Lovers, which is Gemini. And Gemini can speak of, yes, a choice between two, but it can also speak of people that are close to you in your neighborhood, communication, collaboration, movement. And we know that Venus retrograding soon in the sign of Gemini. This is about communicating and collaborating with situations, about situations of the past, things coming back to be cleared and therefore to move on, or people coming back from the past, past lovers, past situations. Some of you could be fearing that. I don't know why, but with Gemini here, Gemini, which is where the nodes are moving into, I do feel as though some of you are really hoping and wishing that you see the end of this, the end of these last 18 months that have been really hard for you. Let's take the Fool. And we have the Chariot, which is beautiful. Cancer. And Cancer is where the North Node is. So really, really interesting. that you will be overcoming. Some of you are seriously moving away. You're moving away from your home, moving on to something new, new environment. There is the card again. Here is the Emperor, everyone. That's who you're moving away from. And beneath the Emperor, which could be an Aries or a Taurus, is the Devil card. Now, beneath that is the King of Swords. And you are the Queen of Swords. Look at that. Now, for some of you, the Emperor could be, I'm going to say, could be someone from the past that could be coming back in. The Emperor. There are many similarities here with the King of Pentacles, because I do see him as Taurus. The Hierophant and the Emperor are very similar to me. Now, for those of you that you've already met this King of Pentacles in the distant past, but you were still finishing up with that King of Swords, I'm going to say that at the time of, this major change in your life, which is the Devil, okay, and what I mean by that is, with all these difficult energies in your sign, there is a curse, but there is also a blessing, okay? So the King of Swords is also with the Devil, and so is the Emperor. I don't know who is who for you guys, for each of you, but with the Emperor, I do feel as though this is something much more stable. The Emperor is a number 4. Vera is another 4. So if you are dealing with someone that is a boss, okay, someone that's been through their own hardships, this is a much younger Emperor. He's not that grey-bearded, old-looking Emperor. He's someone who is younger but in a very important position. He's got a lot on his plate. So some of you could be hoping to move towards them. Now, for others of you, this could be the same person. And Two of Wands is that there will be communication, okay, as I feel that with this card here, this is all about both people being on the same page, having the same passion and moving towards it. The Knight of Swords, okay, this is a lot of difficulty here in the general energy, is saying that I feel as though the storm is not fully over, dear Capricorn, not fully over until I believe those nodes change axis. And they will be changing axis. Look, let's look at the eclipses. We've got June eclipses, July eclipses. Look at mid-year. For most of you, things are going to change drastically, okay? As for everyone, but speaking of you, because you've had the South Node in your sign, which the South Node is all about past karma, I think you will see many important changes and good changes at that. Let's look at the Knight of Swords as the general energy. What's that about? And we have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, yes, is coming in quickly. Is coming in quickly. So let's take some Sibillas, dear Capricorn. We've got a couple of 2s. We've got 2 of Cups. We've got the High Priestess, which is a 2. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. We've got the Hierophant here, which holds 2 keys. This 4 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles are up in the air. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at, I want to have a look at this King of Pentacles in your past position, at your foundation. And we have the butterfly here, leggerezza, which speaks of transformation, but also a lightness of being. There is a sense of freedom here. And I was talking about someone wanting their freedom. Okay, now we can be in a relationship and feel free. And others can be, others don't want a relationship. They don't want to be tied down to a relationship. So with this card, it does speak of lightness of being, but also we know that this leggerezza is also a butterfly that goes from one flower to another. Nevertheless, there is transformation happening here. And there is a sense of sexuality with this card as well. So we know that Lecherezza, which is the butterfly that comes out of the cocoon, has gone through transformation. Okay, so much change, much positive change. Not easy, but positive. We've got the La Matrice, which is the woman lover. And I feel as though, let's take another card, and we've got the Superbia. There is a strong sense of vanity and ego here. I do feel strongly that this King of Pentacles is more than likely someone that you're probably going to be moving towards. That's what I feel. But I do feel as though this King of Pentacles is someone that is more than likely they own their own business. Some of you, this could also be a boss, someone that you're working with. Now, what's interesting to see is that the La Matrice here is very similar to the Queen of Wands. So I'm going to say, here is the Queen of Wands. Let's take a card. Let's take a couple of cards on that. We have the Dispiacere, someone who is unhappy. We have the Falsita. And we have the Ammalato. Wow. So let's take one more card. And we've got the Nemica. Yes, the enemy. The female enemy. Now, I'm going to say that for those of you that this King of Pentacles is the playboy, then it looks as though this could be someone that's been playing around, that's been mucking around from the past. And that's why we've got all these heavy energies here. You are seeing the truth, or you have seen the truth. Okay, for others of you, of course, it's not going to be the same story. This is saying here is that your hardship is finally coming to an end. As you did not believe that it could or that it would, but this is you seeing the truth. The mask comes off. Whatever deception you've been dealing with. Now, the Queen of Wands could also be another female, another feminine energy around you. Could be a co-worker. Could be a sibling that's been quite deceptive. And that's where your hardship comes from. Let's see. Let's take that, the near future position. And we've got the card of strength. We've got Constanza, something unchanging. So you've been trusting that you can manifest this Two of Cups. We have the Bambino, which is something new. For some of you, it could also be pregnancy. The Bambino is a child. And we've got the Sospiri. Sospiri is also very similar to that Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is someone that's hoping and wishing for this. Some of you may have been also trying very hard for a child, okay, to build on a family here. Okay, and having kept the faith here, putting in the work, you're getting that chance. Okay, maybe your partner feared. Maybe your partner was, for some of you, your partner may have been fearing if they had any health problems, or if they were the one at fault. Whatever the case, there was fear against, from the masculine energy, there was fear about not being able to do this. And lack of trust. There was also lack of trust, but this cycle is over now. And the child is here. Okay, and there is celebration. Let's have a look. And with the Sospiri here, with the Three of Wands, some of you are wanting to start a new life. Okay, you've been hoping and wishing for this for a while. You've been waiting for it. Let's look at the external to you. What's around you? We've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Merchant, which is very heavy thought about contracts of any kind. There is some sort of a change here, and that's where the worries around, even if this is work. Yes, that Nine of Swords, it's about how do I continue what I'm doing? How do I continue this business? For those of you that are business owners, this could also be a boss, someone that you're working with. How am I going to do this? There has been a lot of stress around this. We've got the melancholia. Some of you don't believe that you'll be able to manage this situation and come out of it, but you will. With the militare, this says that you're the soldier. You've got the ability to do this. This is the end of suffering. Now, because this is very similar to my Capricorn energy, this is saying that, yes, you've got the ability, dear Capricorn. You're slow, you're steady, and you're the mountain goat. You can do this. If this is someone that you've been waiting on a decision from, I do believe that they're going to come through for you as you've got a new cycle starting here. Let's have a look. Let's take one more card on the militare. And we've got the Gran Consolazione. So having everything that you desire, do not fret. Do not worry about work. Do not worry about relationships. You have been dreaming about this. You've got the ability to do it. It's a test that you've been through. It really is a test. Let's take some different cards, dear Capricorn. I want to take one card on this Fool, the Fool card. Let's take one card on that. And we've got the Chariot. Well, I don't believe this. I really do not believe this. Now, some of you those of you that are parents, you may be seeing that your children are hoping to maybe, leave the nest, maybe even to travel abroad for studies. We do have the Sagittarius card, which is higher education. It's going to take time. They may be wanting to move home to another state. We've got the Chariot twice. We've seen it 3 times. So it does say very strongly that you're overcoming. This is the end of your karmic cycle. You're coming to it, dear Capricorn. And the Chariot is the divine. It is spirit. You've got 3 major arcana at your at the outcome position, and this is saying that you will be able to take charge of your own life. We've got, maybe this is you and your partner, you're willing to go halfway, to meet halfway if you're at a distance, a physical distance, or emotionally. They're willing to speak their truth now. Let's have a look. Let's take a couple of my handwritten cards here. Now I'm going to take the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Let's have a look. The King of Pentacles is right here. Queen of Pentacles, which is you, is here. Let's have a look. King of Pentacles. You will always be in my heart. I can never or will ever forget you. And this is a 4, just like up here. Let's have a look at the Queen of Pentacles. I love my freedom. I love the freedom in my life. I cannot handle monogamy and being tied down with one person. If you're still interested, call me. Well, that's a funny message coming from the Queen of Pentacles. I would say more than likely the Queen of Pentacles was the one that was wanting stability, right? But I believe that this message was given to her, was communicated to her. As we know, the Queen of Pentacles is someone that wants to be stable. For most of you, I feel that this is the case. Let's take one more. We were talking about freedom before, remember? Now, this can also mean that, yes, dear Capricorn, you need your freedom from a situation that was holding you, you know, feeling that you were tied and you could not be, you didn't feel free within a connection. So that's another side to this. Let's have another look. Forever yours with the Queen of Pentacles. Let's take the King of Swords, which is more than likely an ex. I'm sorry for not trusting you, but I've been hurt before. Wow. Okay. Let's take one more for that King of Swords, as not all the messages resonate for all of you. You are very attractive. I don't know if I can keep my hands off you. Well, doesn't sound like this King of Swords was someone that wanted commitment, right? And who I feel as though the Queen of Wands is the one that is attractive here. Not to say that you are not, dear Capricorn, but we usually say that the Queen of Wands is someone that holds strong magnetism. So I don't know how that plays out in your own life. What I'm going to do now is take a message from Spirit for you, dear Capricorn. Dear Capricorn, it's time for you to take the reins. Take the reins of your life. First till the 15th of May, roughly, please, Spirit. What does Capricorn need to know? Can you please answer their question, dear Capricorn? I hope that you're thinking about a question, what you want answered. You can pause the video if you need to think. Let's take your card. We might take a couple. And we have helpful people. Helpful people can be co-workers, can be part of, family members as well, as we do have a group situation here with the Three of Cups. Let's take another card. And we have improving health. That's really good to see. Let's take one more. Some of you are may have been dealing with some even psychological stress-related health problems. And we've got choose a new direction. So that's interesting. I'm going to read just this card, as some of you, yes, it is telling you which direction to go to. The Fool card here is looking at the past. He's looking behind him. And the card here says choose a new direction. So you know how that speaks to you. Let's read the card, choose a new direction. The time has come to choose a new direction in your life. The circumstances that you find yourself living in may seem unfulfilling, or perhaps your heart is full of discontent. You know that there is something more out there in the world for you. And you've been procrastinating, following the guidance of your angels. Make a conscious choice to be the person you are meant to be. Create an action plan for yourself that leads you in the direction of your divine life purpose. Begin taking steps immediately toward a happier future. All right, dear Capricorn, I do hope that that gave you clarity. I want to thank you so much for supporting my channel, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and even commenting. I do hope that I am helping with these daily divine spreads. A lot of people do communicate and say that they are very important. We're still sort of coming out of a lot of hardship, so I'm continuing these daily readings. As I said, I will be continuing these readings as long as I feel they're necessary. And that, of course, will show through, the views and everything. So I do hope that this helped you. If it did not, please watch your moon and your rising sign, and maybe even your Venus sign. Okay? All right. I want to thank you again. Much love, much light to all of you.